I've got some new makeup. I bought the Neutrogena Glow Perfection pen. This is an under eye corrector. At least that's the color I got. Long ago, e.l.f. sold something very similar to this. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze. Why do I always sneeze? I sneezed one time. That is like a record for me. You know what? I'm getting too hot. We're never gonna get to putting makeup on. It is hot today and I don't wanna put on my air conditioning because I refuse, because it is now officially fall. So I'm gonna put my hair back, but I'm gonna keep my headband on to keep my little flyaways out of my face. I still have flyaways. See them all? And my hair is severely, oh my heart. See all those gray hairs? Getting my hair done tomorrow, so I'm way overdue. Okay, back to the makeup. This is very similar to something e.l.f. put out. Did I already say that? I did. I loved that pen. That has been discontinued many years. I don't know why they discontinued it. It was so good, so good. But I am going to actually compare this to my beloved Clinique, what is the name of this? It's beloved and I don't know the name. Even Better Corrector. This has been a long-time favorite of mine and I'm gonna try them each on each eye. So first let's go with the Neutrogena one because that's the new one. So you click it and it comes out with a little brush. You're supposed to put it directly on your eye. Not my favorite delivery, but the Clinique one is kind of the same way. Oh, I almost put it on the left side too. Here. So you can see already that this one is a lighter peach than this one. So that in and of itself will probably make it so it's not going to compare completely, but we'll try it. I'll use two different brushes. Help me remember. The red one, it's the same exact brush. It's from Allbute. They're on Amazon. Love this brush. So the red one is the Neutrogena side and the Clinique one is the white one. So we're going to push it in there. So what this does is it negates the blue and the purplish discoloration in the corner of my eye. And I don't like to put a lot out here, but once it's all blended in, I will then just kind of push it out. Okay, white one with the Clinique. This is just a much more opaque color. Okay, it's definitely darker. It is what it is. It's just not, I don't have a darker one of that. This is brighter, but this one covered more. The foundation I'm going to do is the Erborian CC cream. So I bought this during the 21 days. Erborian is a Korean brand. I've never tried any of their products. At least I don't think I have. A lot of people like the BB cream, which is the more popular one. I thought I was buying the more popular one. It's actually a CC cream, which means in theory, it should be more coverage. CC means color correcting. BB means beauty balm. So a balm is more of a, like a tinted thing. That's in theory what it all should mean. This actually comes out white. So I'm going to actually put this on my hand first. And I got it in the color medium. So you can see it's white. And I'm going to dab it around. I'm going to use a brush because I feel like it needs to be pushed around in order to get it to get the color. I don't know, pushed around. More than a sponge. Oh, wow. Very strong fragrance. I don't like that at all. So if you are sensitive to fragrances, you are not going to like this at all. Wow, that is really strong. Comment below, do you all have the BB cream? Is that one just as fragranced as this one? Because this one's strong, major. Okay, it blended really fast, but I would say that that's a very light coverage. I can see everything coming through here. I'm actually going to use a sponge on this side and see if it makes a difference. It doesn't turn colors as fast. In fact, I feel like it's giving me white. Look at that. Oh boy, that looks horrible. Okay, let's go back to this brush. Okay, clearly don't use a sponge. Maybe I didn't give it enough time, I realize, but it wasn't looking good. Okay, I really still have the flyaways. Very light coverage, like as far as it feels very light on my face. I don't have much left like on my brush anymore. I'm gonna blend it up into where I put the corrector under my eye, but not necessarily put more foundation there. I would say that if I wanted like a no makeup look, this would be what I'd want. It has a little bit of a glow, but not much. I mean, it still has to dry down. I'm seeing a little bit of coverage, like I've got a dark spot right here that I'm working on getting rid of. Boy, this appeared overnight. I am not kidding you. I know it technically didn't, but I didn't notice it because it's at the side. It's really over here. It appeared this summer though. Like, I'm shocked at how dark that is. Okay, I digress. So I'm gonna get a little bit more. It's still white on my hand. That's funny. It doesn't really change colors till you start rubbing it. I'm gonna focus it all right here. I don't feel like I need more like on my forehead and stuff, which is how I normally feel. But I am gonna put a little bit on my nose. It really is a strong fragrance. That's kind of turning me off. Okay, I'm gonna use my sponge that I had and, ooh, there's some right there. I don't want it to be. Work it into my nose. And then just like even things out a little bit. It's very hot in here. Like I said before. You can see my plant moving back there. I do have a fan on above me, so I'm hoping you don't hear that. Okay, I gotta say, it looks nice. It looks really nice. All right, the Neutrogena is creasing, but so is my Clinique, so I always have to set that down. But everything else is looking really nice. I got some eyebrows on. I do have one new brow product, but it's a gel, so we'll put that on in a second. There is one thing I do want to try out though. This one is something that I actually am excited to show you, and I'm annoyed at myself for not trying it. I heard another YouTuber who is granted in her 30s, so I do listen to YouTubers who do makeup, who don't have mature skin, but I listen to them to a point because a lot of their advice just does not translate to somebody with mature skin. So this YouTuber is technically not even a beauty YouTuber, and she is, I think, in her 30s. So I have to take everything with a grain of salt. But she went on her channel and she said, anyone who buys this, and this is, if anyone knows me or has been on my channel for any length of time, knows that this is my absolute favorite thing that I put on the lids of my eyes, because as you can see, they are very discolored, very veiny, and it makes you look more tired and therefore older than what you really are. I've always said I'm looking for something to replace this. Now, have I tried concealers? Absolutely. But most concealers crease so badly, and they also just didn't translate well to be over here. Like, I always felt like it didn't look great. It looked very crepey, and this is a very thin consistency, but this is also very expensive. I've always purchased it on sale, like at least 50% off. But I would love to be able to find a drugstore version, and I actually believe this YouTuber pointed me in the right direction. She said that it's a concealer, is pretty much the same thing. Now, I will argue that it is not the same thing. It's a completely different product, but I will argue that she's actually right. It works really well. I don't necessarily like to put it directly on my eye. Like, I don't like to put the sponge right on my eye, so I take a brush, just lightly put it on my lid. Get a little bit more. Now, it's a concealer, so of course it's going to conceal. What makes this one wonderful is that it doesn't have any kind of glow to it, and it's very light feeling. I don't feel it, but as you can see the difference in my two eyes, it's dramatic. I know. It really, really, really does work. And I tried this a long time ago for my under eye, and I didn't like the product. So it didn't even occur to me to try this on my eyelid because I remember not liking it for a concealer. But I'm wondering if they changed the formula. I don't know. I have no idea. but I'm glad she said it. I will absolutely accept if someone says something and stands me corrected. Does that make sense? Did that come out right? I stand corrected. And this is so much cheaper than this. Now I have 2 bottles of this. I will be using it up. It's a good product. I tried it and then didn't set one side. You absolutely have to set it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of powder. But you also had to set my Perricone MD too. Mine, like it's mine. I mean, doesn't that look so much better? Sometimes it just shocks me how much better that looks on my eyes. Get all the wrinkles out, creases. And we'll see how well my under eye looks. Like, does one look better than the other compared the Neutrogena to the Clinique? So do you guys see any difference between the Neutrogena and Clinique at this point? I mean, I'm feeling like this one looks better, at least in my camera, than this one. But you guys tell me, maybe you don't even see a difference. Sometimes it's just the shadows and it's really hard to see which one's doing better. Okay, I'm going to try out the Colossal Bubble from, is it Maybelline? I think it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Maybelline. Do they still have that as their tagline? I don't know. It is Maybelline. This is the waterproof. I actually have used this several times. I don't think it's one that I would say I would repurchase. I don't think it will replace any of my favorites in my makeup table. But I think it's a pretty decent one. The thing that I think I don't like about it is I think it's harder to take off than like my other favorites. And if you're wondering what my absolute favorites are, I will link a video at the end of this one that shows my absolute favorites that belong in my makeup table. This one can tend to clump, usually on my left side. I'm not sure why. It must be just the way I do my, like the pressure of how I hold my hand. I don't know. But if something's going to clump, like you can see the difference between this one and this one. This one's so much darker. It just must be how I hold it. I don't know. I think it clumped a little bit, so I'm going to brush it out. All right, I actually like it. I don't think it flakes. I don't think it smudges. Okay, I have to tell you that usually if I'm using a product that has a fragrance to it, by the time it sets down on my face, and this is, well, it's still sticky, so it hasn't really set down, I can still smell it. So that's a very strong smell. I'm talking about the Erborian, the CC cream. It's just a very strong scent. It's not a scent that bothers me, but it is strong. And fragrance doesn't bother my skin. Like, I don't get a reaction to it, but I just don't enjoy having fragrance on my face. And I don't want other people to be like, what is she, like, what is that perfume? I don't want my makeup to be my perfume. I'm going to try the NYX The Brow Glue. So many brands have come out with their version of a brow glue. My favorite one is from Maybelline. It's called the Super Lock. This is the one that I have in my makeup drawer that everything has to compare to. This one's phenomenal. I have yet to find one that can even compete with this one. So this one is not a traditional brush. I've used it a few times. You can see brow product on it, but you squeeze. Is it coming out? There, you can see it coming out. And you're supposed to start using it at that point. I tend to feel like it's all in one spot, so I kind of move it around on the thing, which is just another step that I feel like I shouldn't have to take. But otherwise, it was like literally putting it in one spot. I brought you in very close. We're very up close and personal. Brushing it through. The goal here is to have my brows all staying in place for the rest of the day. That's the goal, the ultimate goal. I also don't want this to take off my makeup that I put on underneath it, and it's okay. I do think it does do that sometimes though, so bear that in mind. My trick as well is to take let me get a clean one, a spoolie, and to take this and run it through, because then you're not putting on more gel, but you're just kind of pushing them down, getting them in place. I I do feel like it took off a little bit of my brow stuff, but that's okay. It's not a lot. Okay, while we're here, you can look at my skin with the foundation. Clearly, it's a very light coverage. This is not, I wouldn't even call this a medium coverage. I would call it light. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and powder the rest of my face because I'm going to be using powdered products from this point forward. This is from LA Girl. It intrigues me because it's a bronzer that's got two different ones, a lighter and a darker. So I'm gonna go for the lighter first. I'm going to use the Nikki N20 brush. This is the new one from BK Beauty and their collaboration with Nikki LaRose. It's the volume 2 set, which they did send to me, so full disclosure. But I can say whatever I want, and you guys know I will say whatever I want. I'm going to use the lighter side, and not too much. And see, another hair. What is it with me and hairs? And this is supposed to like diffuse. Maybe this is too light. Possibly too light. Yeah, you can see it. It's not real dark. Actually, I'm going to combine them. Look at how it's getting a line right there. Like, I can't get it to stop that. Why is it doing that? Like, do you guys see the line? Oh, my face. Okay. My left side always does better. It's just a perplexing thing. And I probably say that in every video. I'm sorry if I repeat myself. Okay, so that side looks beautiful. This side, I'm not liking so much. I'm gonna take my 105 brush. Why is this side so much better? Like, why? What did I do different? I powdered this side. All right, I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute because it could be that I just rubbed it. You know, it was hard. It was, I'm not making sense. It could be that I rubbed it and now it's red. Okay, Bobby, just give it up. Okay, just get a little bit of bronzer on my forehead. Okay, I like that brush for that. That looks nice. Not sure how I feel about this yet. I'm going to use this. Live Tinted is a brand I've really not tried much of. I did buy their concealer, but I didn't want to try it at the same time as I using the Neutrogena. So I'll have to try that one later. But this is their Hue Beam Blushing Bronzer in the color Sahara Sunset. It's got bronzer up here and then it goes to a blush. So very unique. I'm going to use the Refer number 4 brush for this. Oh, wow. That is, I guess it does have a glow to it. Looks so patchy over there. I don't like that. Okay, it looks so much better over here and it just doesn't look nice here. It just looks really patchy and I don't like it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to use my brush that I put my foundation on with and kind of just tone it down. Wow, smelling that smell again. Okay, let's look at my brows. Already I'm looking at them and thinking they're already drooping down. It's not horrible, but I can see it's drooping down like right there, and that's a problem area. My brows do naturally go down. That's why I work so hard to get them to go up, because it makes my eyes look more awake. If they're drooping down, it just droops everything down. I'm wondering if I can brush them again. Let me see. Still. Yeah, I can still brush through them. So I'm gonna brush it up a little bit. So Morphe came out with a new lippy. It's called the Lip Filler and it's in the color Souffle. It is a matte. I'm gonna put this on directly without any liner or anything. The color is very pretty. Like, I really like the color. Like, it's hard to even tell I have this on my lips. So that I like. I like the color. I'm still not happy with how this whole thing looks. Like, I feel like it's not blended well. And I feel like I can't blend it anymore. So I'm not sure which one it is. This one started looking bad right away on this side, but it looked good here. This one, I think I don't like how it has a sheen to it. It's not strong though, but I see it more in my mirror than I do my camera or my monitor. So, not sure about that one. Okay, I want you to see this has been on my lips maybe 2 minutes. And see how you can see the lines? Hopefully that's coming across. But it's like the lip product is just, the lipstick is literally just going in wherever my lines are, and it'll just make my lips look more liney. Now the solution could be obviously to put a lip gloss on or something, but I don't want to have to do that. So that's not my favorite. I don't think, I could change my mind, but right now this is a no-go. Look at my brows. See how this one is going down already? Like it's not holding its shape. This one's doing better. Definitely, this one always does better. But this one is just drooping down, and I can brush it back up. I like that it's not real crunchy, but then I also don't like that it's not real crunchy because it's not holding its shape. It's definitely not going to replace my beloved Maybelline Super Lock. Final thoughts. First, on the Neutrogena Under Eye Corrector. I'm going to see if they have a darker one. I think that I needed a darker one. I need one a little bit more opaque as well. Right now, this would not replace my Clinique Even Better Corrector. Not even by a long shot. I do like that this is such a light formula, but I also think that that's the reason why it's not giving me the coverage I want. The Erborian CC cream. I actually really like this. Now, I got it in medium. I think the color is beautiful. I think that if I want a light, like I want to have a little bit of coverage, but I don't want it to be heavy feeling, like I can barely feel this on my face. This is lovely. Now, if I can deal with the scent, that is one thing that might stop me from wanting to use this too much, because it really is, it is definitely a fragrance. Now, I think the reason why I'm smelling it is because the brush I used is right here and I can smell it on here. So I don't know if that's what I'm smelling or if I'm smelling it on my face. So I'll put wear notes below so you know how I feel about this, after I've worn it all day. Did I continue to smell it? That kind of thing. This has, I've already told you, I love it. I'm so happy that this is something that would replace my Perricombe MD. It just really works well, and it's so much cheaper. So would this replace this? Yes, it absolutely will. It's going to be a long time before I have to replace it because I have 2 bottles of this. I obviously am going to continue to use, but absolutely when these are gone, this is going to be the replacement. Will this replace the Maybelline Super Lock? No way, no way. This is absolutely better. So this is a no-go for me. Jury's out on this one. I have to try this a few times. I have tried it at least, I think this is the second time I've tried it. And I did feel like it was patchy the first time. This is patchy, but I want to try it. The first time I tried it with a newer foundation as well. So I need to try this with one of my tried and true foundations and just see if I like it better that way. This could be something that I use to set a cream bronzer with. So that's something I'm curious about. So I will keep trying this and hopefully let you guys know, like in a Yahoos and Boos. This is another, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's got any kind of hue to it, but it is called Hue Beam. But, I mean, I don't even see it on there. But yet I see it on my face, so I don't know. So I have to keep trying that as well. And my lips just keep getting worse and worse. So no, I will not be using this. This is definitely a no. And the Colossal, Bubble Colossal, I do like this. Like I said, I do like this. So if you haven't really found one that you liked, I think it is a little bit harder to get off. I will continue to use this till it's gone. Like it's nowhere near something I would get rid of right away without using it. Would this replace my favorites in the makeup drawer? No, no way. Okay, I promised you that I would link the video where it shows all my absolute favorites. These are my favorites that all future makeup have to compare to. So I will link that video right here. I'll see you in that one or another one. God bless.